start directly. So I will just click here, tack, and click on slideshow. Okay.
Perfect.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, Other. I can see you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. So welcome everyone. I'm Arthur Bakush, and today I will be presenting Data Cloud for marketing. So we used to know Data Cloud as CDP, but the name changed recently. Now it's Data Cloud for marketing. And we will be focusing on data ingestion and modeling. So let me start with introducing myself. So I work as a Salesforce Marketing Cloud consultant at Sky Solution. Sky Solution is a partner, a Salesforce partner. So we do implementation of Salesforce project. I'm also 7-time certified, and I'm based in Sydney at this stage. So that's a bit about me. And let's deep dive into the topic. So the first thing that we would like to talk about, it's about the agenda. At first, we will talk about what is a marketing cloud connector, what are the different data streams, what is a DLO and a DMO, and how we can map that, and what's the customer 360 model. I think it's important to remember that this session is focused on Data Cloud for marketing, and this is the very first step to do when you start using Data Cloud and you want to pull data from Marketing Cloud. So let's jump into it. The first thing that we have to do when we are interested in Data Cloud is we need to connect some data source. It's really important to have different data source based on what you would like to collect and analyze. So Salesforce provide some out-of-the-box connector that are available in Data Cloud. And this will allow you in a few clicks to start receiving data directly into your Data Cloud system. So you have a few connectors available. You have B2C commerce, you have Marketing Cloud. So we are interested in Marketing Cloud today, but you also have Salesforce CRM, which is Sales Cloud, and Interaction Studio. That's the Salesforce product that will be directly connected to Data Cloud. After, if you want to go a bit further, you will also have the possibility to use the API. So you will be able to connect Data Cloud through an external system with API. So I just take an example. If you would like to connect your printer and your printer have an API, you could potentially connect it to Data Cloud. You will also have the possibility to connect website and mobile app. So this is really related. For example, if you want to connect like any type of website, it could be like a WordPress website, but it could also be a custom developed website. And same for mobile app, you can work with Apple and Android. After that, you will also have Google Cloud Storage, which is like a cloud, like cloud computing. So it's where you store an application or a software, like a SaaS product, for example, software as service. And after that, you have the data kit. So data kit is like integration that will be fully customized to work with another system. So long story short, it's the connector that are available with Data Cloud, and us, we are interested into the Salesforce connector, like the Salesforce product, and more specifically, Marketing Cloud. So what is inside the Marketing Cloud connector? So basically, once you will set up your Marketing Cloud connector, you will have two possibilities. First possibility is I want to connect Marketing Cloud to Data Cloud, and I want to use some data bundle. To me, the easiest way to explain what is a data bundle is a plug and play module. I don't want to go too complicated. I just want to pull the main data from Data Cloud, from Marketing Cloud. I use a data bundle. And you have 3 containers that are within a data bundle. You will have Email Studio, Mobile Connect, and Mobile Push, which are like the 3 biggest, or like the 3 main channel in Marketing Cloud. After, you will have the possibility to build your own data bundle, like custom data bundle, but this is a feature that is less popular. So I will focus on data bundle and data extension. So let's say, okay, I want to connect Marketing Cloud to Data Cloud, but I don't want to import all my email communication. I don't want to import everything that is part of Email Studio. I only want to connect a specific piece of data. Then I will be able to select a specific data extension that is within Marketing Cloud. And this is really helpful because instead of trying to import everything, I can focus on the data that really matter to me. So if you set up a data bundle, so like the plug and play method, your data source object will be automatically mapped to a data model object. So it's really interesting. What is a data source object? It's basically a raw data. So when you connect, for example, just another example, let's say you connect your Instagram account to Data Cloud. When Data Cloud imports the data from Instagram, at the very first step, when the data is raw, the data will be stored into a data source object, a DSO. And after that, we will have another type of object that is the data model object. So this is once the data is ready to be understood by Data Cloud, we will put it in a specific type of object that is a DMO. It's basically once the data is ready, we will go all the way from DSO to DMO. And when we are using a data bundle, which is really plug and play, I do a few clicks, it's already set up. Then we will have the chance to have the DSO object automatically connected to the DMO object. So you don't have to do anything complicated. You can just do a few clicks and ingest and map your data directly. So if you do some website development, you could see that as a template. A data bundle is basically a template of a page that is already built for you. And there is the second part, so like the data extension. So the data extension is a bit different, as you will have to do the DSO definition and mapping into the data model manually. So you will have to you will have your DSO object once you connect Instagram. Let's say I connect Instagram to Data Cloud. Okay, all my data about Instagram will be stored in a DSO object, so my raw data. And then I will have to define and map all the different objects and fields to a data model object. So it's not that difficult, to be honest. Like it just you have to do it, and you have to plan it and schedule it. I think like one of the main challenge with the, Data Cloud is that you should design and map everything before do the execution. So just you need to think about it before starting the process, but it's not that difficult as well. After that, we will go to the data stream. So, okay, I created my Marketing Cloud connector. In the setup, all your setup, there is a few steps. So first step, I create my data connector for Marketing Cloud, or for B2C commerce, or for Sales Cloud. And after, once I create my connector in setup, I will have the possibility to create a new data stream. And if I create my setup correctly first, then I will see the logo Marketing Cloud directly in the new data stream. Or I will see B2C commerce, or I will see Salesforce CRM when I create this new data stream. If I don't do my connector setup correctly, then it will not be here. But for us, as we do it correctly, we will see Marketing Cloud. So I will be able to continue the process of creating my data stream. And here is the interesting part. I think it's one of the main parts that you need to understand to get an understanding, is that basically my data source, like let's say Instagram, when I connect it to Data Cloud, then at first it's stored into a DSO, so data source object. After that, when I make my data available for Data Cloud, when I can play and manipulate my data, the data will be contained into a DLO. A DLO is a container for Data Cloud. So it goes like this. DSO, data source object, DLO, data lake object. I store my data into the Data Cloud. And then I will have to connect and map my DLO object to my DMO object. And DMO object is basically an object that is part of a galaxy of objects. If you take the example of Star Wars, a DMO will be a planet in Star Wars. Like I don't know which planet it can be, like Tatooine, for example, or any other planet. But basically, a DMO object, a data model object, is a planet that is part of an ecosystem. And this ecosystem contains other planets. And all these planets, there is road between, and they communicate together and they exchange data. And we call that this galaxy the customer 360 model. It's like basically a range of objects that will define who is your customer, like that will give all the information possible about your customer. And what is important to do is to connect your DLO once you imported your data into Data Cloud to your DMO. Because when your data is into a DLO object, so a data lake object, your data is isolated from the rest of the galaxy. And what you want to do is to push your data into a DMO object to connect it to the galaxy. And for that, you will have to map the different fields. So for example, a primary key is like, basically a primary key is the field that is really important into an object. So for example, if you take a car, if you take two cars and you want to know what the difference between two cars, a primary key will be the brand. So for example, you will have a primary key Mercedes, and you will have another primary key that will be BMW. And this allow me to understand what's the difference between two versions of the same object, because my object is a car, but I have one car that is a Mercedes, one car that is a BMW, and that's the difference basically. So what you have to do is you have to connect the primary key from a DLO to the DMO, and also the fields that are related. You will have the possibility to create some custom field as well, and you can find the DLO into the main tab data lake object and the DMO into data model. Okay, so I think now what is really important to talk about is the customer 360 model. It's like the Star Wars galaxy of your customer. As you can see here, in this slide, I don't use the representation of the galaxy, but I use a representation of a Lego. So basically a DMO, a data model object, is a brick, it's a Lego brick. It's like a little piece of Lego that once you build it with other brick, you will be able to create a Lego construction. And the Lego construction is your customer 360 model. It's once you assembled several Lego brick, several data model objects. So in this demo, I will focus on 2 objects that I will show you. It will be quite short, and we will have a look at the individual object. So that's the object that is related to an individual. For example, Arthur is an individual. And the contact point email. So this is more like, if I want to reach out to this individual, what are the information that I will be using? So let's see the demo. I will do it in live. We will not, if you want, the video is available on YouTube as well, if you want to see that. So here I'm in Customer Data Cloud, so Data Cloud for marketing. First thing that I would like to do is to go into Setup. And in Setup, what I will do is I will go in Marketing Cloud. So here, as you can see, this is your out-of-the-box connector. So here, as you can see, I can enter my credential. So I'm already connected. So I will keep it. I will not do it this step because it's for the demo. But after, what I can do is I can set up some bundles. So here I click Manage. And here I can see like the bundle that are available. So I can click Start. And I say basically to Data Cloud, yes, bring the data that is part of the 3 channel in Marketing Cloud. Here I can also select some business units. So I click on Manage. Here I will have my own business unit, which is a children business unit. But I will also have, in all the case, the parent business unit. So I click on Save. After that, we have the third option that is not available for my hand. So I will not touch it. But then I have the last option that is Activate the business unit. So when we say activate the business unit, this is where can I activate segments from Data Cloud. So as you know, Data Cloud is a platform that receives data, but it's also a platform that pushes data. And I could use Data Cloud to build some specific segment into my business unit in Marketing Cloud. And this is where I select and choose the business unit that should be activated. In my case, I will just use my children business unit. Okay, so I think our connector is correctly set up. Now I will go back to the Customer Data Cloud platform. Once I'm on the Customer Data Cloud platform, I will create a new data stream and I will basically create new. Okay. Here, I will have the possibility to connect a specific data source. As you remember, I have explained it that it will be available. What will be available is based on what is connected into setup. We just did together the connection with Marketing Cloud, and now the Marketing Cloud is available as a connected source. So I will click on it and I will go on next. As you can see, I could also choose a lot of different data sources, but I will not do it in this video. Here is the interesting part. What do I want to import into my Data Cloud system? I can start with the bundle. The bundle are related to a specific channel. So we have Email Studio, Mobile Connect, Mobile Push. But if I do that, it means that I will import everything. Do I want to import everything? No. And I want to have the flexibility to choose how I map my data. So I will choose my children business unit and I will go into my data extension. So here, as you can see, I have different data extension. If we go to my Marketing Cloud instance, I could see that literally as my data extension. Well, this is available now, and I will pick Preference Center, and I will choose Master Subscriber. So this is the folder Preference Center in Marketing Cloud, and here is the data extension, Master Subscriber. Okay, that seems to be correct to me. Now, what I can do is I can define the source, the object label, and the object API name. So maybe I will change that. I will just put 2 because I think I did it before. So I don't want to have duplicate. Okay, that seems to be correct. Now I have another setup to do for my data stream. Okay, so first I will define the object details. So what's the object details? Basically, I will have to select a category between profile, engagement, and other. Profile will be basically if it's an object that a data stream that is related to an individual. For example, if this data stream Preference Center subscriber is related to individual, then we will select profile. And if not, if it's related more to how users are interacting with my website, for example, I will choose engagement. And other if it's not related to this option. Here, I will take my subscriber key. So it's basically what I explained with Mercedes and BMW when we were talking about brand. I need to define on my object what is the key field that will allow me to understand what's the difference between 2 versions of this same object to record. Okay, I click on next. So here it's interesting. I give a name to the data stream. I say every time we do a refresh of the data stream, should I do a full refresh where I erase and pull the data again fully, or should I add it on top of what is currently into my data stream? In most of the case, we will do a full refresh. And after that, I will choose the frequency on how often the system is refreshed, how often the data stream is refreshed. And in our case, I will take hourly. Once I do that, I will be able to click on deploy. Now that I'm clicking on deploy, I have some information. So as you can see here, my data stream status is progressing. The last run status is pending, and it can take up to 24 hours before the status was activated. So it means like once you do your setup of a data stream, you will have to wait in average 48 hours before being able to play with the data. But what you can do, however, is you can click on Start Mapping. So here I'm in Start Mapping, okay? So here, as you can see, I have my DLO. So I created my data stream based on a data extension in Marketing Cloud. I have a data lake object here. Now, what I will do is I will create and I will select my DMO, so data model object. To select the data model object is pretty straightforward. I just have to search for it here. I will put individual, and I will also put email contact. So I think it's contact point. Contact point email. Okay. I select 2 objects here and I click on down. As you can see here, I have a lot of fields. that are available. Now the challenge will be to connect them and to make sure that I can leverage the data that is into my Marketing Cloud data extension. So for example, here I click email address in a map and I will search for email address. Up, I connect it. Simple as that. After that, I will have subscriber key. So subscriber key will have to be connected in contact point email ID, the other primary key of the DMO, and like the primary key that is part of the other object. So individual key. Okay. And now, okay, everything seems to be correct. If I want, I could set up more object. I will just save it. And I will also create a custom field, because one interesting part of the DMO object is that you have it is possible to add some custom field to the standard object that are part of the customer 360 model. You could also even add new object to this customer 360 model. It's really up to you. But at start, I would recommend using the standard object. Okay. So here, as you can see, I have unmapped, and here is like the contact point email. So I will click add a new field, and I will say frequency, and the field will be a text. So here, as you can see, I should be able to have a new field in my contact point email data model object. So I will just go here and I will go to pick frequency. So it's here, tac, 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 email frequency. Perfect, it's connected. And now I can save and close. And basically here, my data lake and the mapping will be successfully created. So if I click in data stream, you can see that master subscriber 2 is connected to Salesforce Marketing Cloud, and the last run is pending. As I just did it now, you will have to wait 24 hours in average, and the data stream is active. So if I go in the data lake object, I will be able to find the data lake here. So I can get information related to the field that are part of this data lake object. And also I can see if it's active or not. If I go into data model, I will be able to see all the data like the data model object that are mapped. And as you can see, there is a lot of them. This is all the objects that are part of the customer 360 model, but in mapped, I will be able to see individual and contact point email. So if I go in contact point email, I can see that I have 3 data streams that are mapped and also 3 data lake objects that are connected. And here I can see what are the fields that are mapped into that. Okay, so after that, I can do a data explorer as well. So for example, if I take a data model object, I can take individual. And here I will be able to see all the data that I've pulled from Salesforce Marketing Cloud into Data Cloud. So for example, here, as you can see, across all my data streams that I've plugged into a data model, I'm able to visualize all the information in the data explorer. Okay. And after that, I think what we will do is we will go through a data stream that is activated. So for example, Zoom subscriber. Here I can see that this has been refreshed a while ago, and I have also information related to how I'm defining and mapping this data stream. And I have data related to the number of records that I've pulled so far. So in this case, I've pulled 2 records because I used to have 2 records into my data extension. So this is basically how you could leverage like the data extension. Now, maybe something interesting that I could do is just let's try to do Marketing Cloud and to do a bundle directly. So let's see if it's difficult, if it's easy, and hopefully it's not too difficult and it will not take hours. So I will just close this and refresh. So one thing that I realized is that sometimes when you create new, after selecting Marketing Cloud, it stays blank. So you have to refresh your page. So here they are proposing me my different data bundle. So I'm only interested in Email Studio. So please note that my Marketing Cloud instance that I'm using with that is a sandbox. So there is not much data in it. But here, as you can see, I have all the information related. So it will tell you directly what are the different information related to the customer, subscriber ID, subscriber key, company, mobile, all of that. And here you will have a deep dive into more granular information that are more related to the system in Marketing Cloud. Okay, here I click next, and here I just have to click deploy. So I think this is like what is Salesforce Genie. Is like in a few clicks, I can just deploy a new data stream that will ingest everything that I have into Marketing Cloud. This is really like the power of Marketing Cloud and Data Cloud, is that there is some integration that are built out of the box and that are really performant. So yeah, I think at this stage, now it will take a while to load, but I think, Fanny, if you have any question, please feel free to let me know. Fanny, you are on mute.
Hey, sorry, Other. That was wonderful, Other. Thank you so much for a wonderful presentation. Any questions, team? Anyone has any questions? So brilliant session, Other. Thank you so much for taking your time. For taking your time, and looking forward for mobile studio sessions. And we have one more session next week, especially on segmentation and activation. So looking forward for that session.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you. And if you have any question, feel free to add me on LinkedIn. And thank you for watching this presentation.
I think there is one question from Lakshmi Adar. What question? What will happen to the unmapped fields?
Not much. They will just simply not be ingested.
Yeah, that's it. So Lakshmi, ideally what will happen is, so you can only map the relevant fields from DLO to DMO. So we can use those relevant objects and relevant fields in identity rules and reconciliation rules and segmentations and activations as well. And the best practice would be no need to pull all the fields from the source to your data model objects. If you keep as much as fields would be 4 to 5 or 5 to 6, would increase the efficiency of the platform, and further you could easily identify the fields that what you have been used. Right. Can we the question is, can we map multiple objects?
Yep, like there is no limit to that. Well, maybe there is limit, but you can definitely map different. You can map multiple objects. from DLO to DMO. It's not an issue as long as you handle the data correctly. I think like the real challenge when you map multiple objects is to have a clear and robust architecture of your system, because mapping multiple objects can lead to confusion, and I think it's possible.
I think there's one more question, Nader. Can we, any volume limit on rows, threshold of records?
So this will depend basically. So when you ingest data from Marketing Cloud, you ingest 90 days of data. So that's the base. After, you will have to discuss with your Salesforce account executive based on what's the storage. Today there is brand like Ford or maybe like Adidas that are using Data Cloud, so they need like huge storage. But like the thing is, this is something that you will pay for. So it's better to see how you can optimize and how you can use the data that you need, and not try to connect everything directly to the system.
Yeah. So there's one more question. How much time that will take to ingest the data from one source system to Data Cloud?
So it takes in average 24 hours to have your data stream available into Data Cloud. So like, for example, when I did like the demo yesterday, I did a YouTube video, like a tutorial on exactly what I did during this presentation. And what I did is I created the stream, the data stream. And then only today, when I log on my computer, on my laptop, I could see that the data stream was active and not pending. So it took approximately 24 hours to ingest the data. I think there is the same thing with Marketing Cloud Intelligence. Datorama is 24 hours to ingest the data. I think one of the future updates of Salesforce that I think would be really interesting is that we should have the data ingested instantly.
Yep. So I think pretty much those are all the questions, Adar.
Yep.
Once again, thank you for joining with us today, and really great session. And we're really looking forward for many of the sessions on multiple clouds. Once again, thank you and have a great evening. Thank you, everyone.
You too. See you. Bye.
Bye.